2026. These are for a future video. They're shell swaps, by the way. So, I'm about to do something I've done on this channel before, and that may seem boring, but we're going to do it 3 times. That's exciting, isn't it? No, it's not. So, we're going to be replacing the joysticks on a few controllers. I've got a couple sets of replacements here. These pink ones, these black ones, and these midnight blue ones, I think they're called. I'm not 100% sure. And a bit of context. So, a few years ago, maybe, I want to say 2021, I did what is one of my first, and so far, only custom shell swaps. I've done a few shell swaps. I don't do it very often on things. I did it with these Joy-Cons because I wanted the limited edition color and I didn't want to pay full price for a set of legitimate ones only to find out they were fakes anyway. But I wanted a translucent blue Pro Controller, so I made one. And for some reason, I swapped out the sticks with Xbox One sticks. But they're cheap imitation Xbox One sticks, so they don't feel great. And I put the original Pro Controller sticks in this DualShock 3, so I don't really want to take them out of this, because I hate the original DualShock 3 sticks. I just never got on with that type of stick. I just absolutely hate it for some reason. I really want to swap the stick on my Steam controller. I need to find one that'll fit. I've heard the 8-bit joysticks fit, but eventually, that's a project I'll deal with eventually. I also don't like taking apart Steam controllers, so that's another problem. But yeah, I use the sticks from this controller in this one, and I don't want to take them out. So, yeah, where does that leave me? So I bought these spares. They're from Extreme Rate. Actually, the same company that made the shell for this controller, if I recall. No, this is not sponsored. And just to prove that it's not sponsored, I'm going to bring up the time a bunch of controversy happened because someone tried using an alcohol wipe on their Switch after they did an Extreme Rate shell swap, and it melted. And people were pissed. And honestly, I can't really blame them. There goes any chance of Extreme Rate sponsoring me. But I used Extreme Rate sticks in another controller I did on this channel. I think I filmed this one. But these nice purple ones. And they came out really good. They feel really nice. This doesn't have a battery in it at the moment, but the sticks feel really nice. So I feel like these are good enough replacements. No idea how long they last because I don't use my Pro Controller very often. As I said, this doesn't even have a battery in it at the moment, but they feel pretty good. And compared to the official Pro Controller sticks, because I did get another one, yeah, they're not bad. If anything, I prefer the Extreme Rate ones, which is, yeah, saying a lot. Again, not sponsored. Remember the guy whose Switch melted, but, you know. At least that set was so far worth the money. They're like $10. And I've used cheap joysticks. They suck. They really suck. And it's weird that they suck, because it's just a little bit of plastic with some rubber on the end. Like, these should be cheap to make. Anyway, I've rambled too long. I'm swapping the sticks on this Pro Controller for the black ones. This Wii U Gamepad, which is not charged at the moment, with the pink ones. This is actually a build for a friend of mine. You may notice it's not in very good shape. I am not going to try retrobrighting it. It is probably too far gone for that. And honestly, I wish this was in better condition, but The sticks are really the only thing that I see major issue with. Personally, no one would tolerate my standards. I'm surprised she does, to be honest. But yeah, these sticks are unacceptable. And I asked her what color she wanted. She wanted the pink ones. So, the pink ones. And this Wii U gamepad, which is my personal main gamepad. I actually have 2 Wii U's hooked up at the moment. But this is my gamepad. With also Xbox One sticks. And I'm putting these midnight blue ones. They're pretty subtle, but I think it'll look nice. So now to clean this mess and get to taking apart a Pro Controller. Couldn't find Nugget, by the way. No idea where she went. You may notice all of these came with cheap screwdrivers. You're not really supposed to use those. You know what? Let's try them. Let's try them. Let's try them. Hopefully I don't strip any screws. Also, it's been a long time since I've taken one of these apart, so hopefully... Ooh, yeah, that screwdriver sucks. Is this even the right screwdriver? I thought the other one was a tri-wing. Oh yeah, that's a tri-wing. That's a tri-wing. Ooh, yeah, these suck. These suck. I feel like I'm going to strip a screw if I keep doing that. iFixit, save us. You know, just to ruin any chance of them sponsoring me too, you can get like off-brand iFixit kits, and I've been told they function basically the same. I have the iFixit kit, but I've been told the off-brand ones are basically functionally identical. I don't know how true that is, but it checks out. They're screwdrivers. The fact that these cheap ones are so bad is a marvel of engineering. Oh, that already came off. What? That's concerning. That's kind of concerning. Great. Okay. Oh, those screws are not the same size. Those screws are not the same size. Maybe I did something wrong when I put it together 5 years ago, but who knows? Who cares? I'm just going to stick with the same screws going in the same spot, because I don't want to fuck it up further. It's worked for 5 years. So, hasn't fallen apart yet. Pick. Is there a screw in there? Oh yeah, the screw's in there. And that side's missing a screw. Only the finest. Only the finest. As I said, no one would tolerate my standards. There's no screw in there either. I think there's supposed to be. But I think neither of those have screws in them. Maybe? Oh, there's a screw in there and the iFixit kit's not long enough. Great. Great. Yeah, that's like one of the few things I don't like about the iFixit kit. Very frequently, it'll just not be long enough. And that's what she said. I am a child. Got the magnet got the screw out at least. I think the other post doesn't even have a screw in it. Let's check. Nope, it does not. I'm not following a guide for this, by the way. I have, I'm very much risking breaking this thing, but it is what it is. I'm probably doing this completely wrong, and everyone's just going to be absolutely disgusted. Oh, there is a screw in there. Felt like there was no screw. Okay. That explains it. That explains it. Okay. It didn't feel like there was a screw in that post. But there was. That explains it. Okay. All right, that makes sense. And should just come apart now. I think there's a ribbon cable on this part. Yeah. Yeah, there's a ribbon cable. And I should maybe not be able to film it properly. But I should be able to just get the sticks off and then get the new ones in without filming it properly, but it is what it is. I'd rather the shot come out bad than ruin my Pro Controller, you know? I would genuinely rather the shot come out bad than, like, break my Pro Controller irreparably. Yeah, I do genuinely like taking apart the Switch Pro Controller, and yeah, those sticks feel so much better. It is not even funny. Wow. Okay. And obviously all the buttons should still feel as they did, because there's a board. Like, they're on their own board. So, of course, they didn't pop loose and go everywhere as I had been expecting them to, because it has been so long since I have taken apart one of these. Like, I knew it was nice, but I forgot just how nice, you know? And, of course, if you're doing a full shell swap, you have to take that board out, and that does add mess to it, but even then, it's not that bad. Like, I take apart controllers, and having to reseat the buttons, that's fine. Obviously, that's fine. It's just nice not having to if all you're getting in for is replacing the joystick caps, is what I'm saying. That's really all I'm saying here. It's nice not having... I was just using that for these two that are... The posts are too long, but the rest of them I can use the iFixit. Anyway, yeah, all I'm saying is it's nice not having to deal with buttons going everywhere, and then you have to reseat all of them. It's nice not having to deal with that. if you're not doing a full shell swap and all you're doing is the joysticks. Even with the iFixit kit, I'm not sure if this is the right size bit. Another problem I've had with the iFixit kit is sometimes one bit will feel like it's too small, and the next bit will feel like it's too big, like it doesn't fit the screw at all. But the smaller bit, the size, one size down, just like slips. That's what she said. I am a child. Anyway, battery. Don't poke this. I think this is literally just a 3DS battery. Yeah, CTR 003. This is literally just a 3DS battery. So, pro tip. If you really need a Pro Controller, battery, you can take one out of an original old 3DS. Or if you need a battery for an old 3DS, you can take one out of a Pro Controller. I actually I didn't mention where the battery from this Pro Controller went. It's in one of my 3DSs. And I haven't gotten around to replacing the battery in the Pro Controller yet. I am a menace to society. Which way does this go in? Okay, there we go. And buttons still turn on. Yep, cool. So I didn't break the ribbon cable. That's good. Oh yeah, that's gross. That's gross. Obviously, I can't clean this thing with rubbing alcohol, so I'm just going to scrape it out with my screwdriver. Might as well scrape it out with the bad screwdriver. Absolutely no respect. No one would tolerate my standards. Stole that line from Dank Pods, by the way. But, like, it's true. It is true. Ew. Ew. Oh, that didn't actually help. I really need to replace this desk mat. Is the wrong one? Yep, there we go. Okay, cool. And all of these are Phillips. All of these screws are Phillips. Now, I can't remember if I replaced any screws when I did the shell swap, but I don't think I did. Really need to replace this desk mat. It's getting gross. You have to put that in like a certain angle. I'm not making another "that's what she said" joke. Okay. So it's back together. I've got these Xbox One sticks out, which will go in the hoard of joysticks and hopefully never be needed. Let's do something I don't usually do and get canceled. Wait. Let's do something I don't usually do and test the thing I just took apart. I mean, I usually test it, just most of the time that ends up being off camera. No, I don't think I will test Titans of the Tide because I am pretty late game, and I don't want to show off any spoilers. Yep, okay. The Dadish games are fire, by the way. So it's a 2D game, so I get to test both the D-pad and the stick. I'm bad at this game, can you tell? Yeah, it seems to work. Yeah, cool. 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 Day 2. Okay, so it's been like a week. While I was setting up the shot, I found this monstrosity. This used to be a Switch Joy-Con grip, and I harvested the sides for the nugget. That thing has been recycled, by the way. It is gone. It met its final fate at the e-waste center, also known as Staples. But this is what this looks like. It's very wobbly, very uncomfortable. These Joy-Con are very slightly concerning about potentially having concerning batteries in them. Hopefully not. I was going to take the batteries out of those ones anyway. So anyway, Wii U Gamepad. This one, my personal gamepad, has the screw covers missing. Because what you're supposed to do is take like a piece of double-sided tape, stick them to the tape, and then cut the pieces out with like an X-Acto knife or something, and tape them back on. I could not be bothered to do that with this gamepad, especially since I knew I would probably be going in there again. And honestly, Arya, I hope you're okay with that, but I'm doing that for this one too. I'm sorry. This is not my gamepad, and I'm doing it for this one too. No one would tolerate my standards, and I really hope the friend of mine is okay with that. Arya, if you're watching, before I send this to you, if this video even gets out before I send this to you, I hope you're okay with that. I'm sorry. Oh, this came with a stylus. Deliciously yellowed over time, but I did not realize this had come with the stylus. Nice. That's cool. So now I have to get all those I have to get the battery out, and then get all those screw covers off and all those screws out. And this thing has a lot of them. When I did this one, and I had to go in there like 2 or 3 times. I'm expecting I probably won't have to do that with this one because I have done this before. But I had to go in there a couple times, and my hands were like hurting because of the screwdriver. And I don't have an electronic screwdriver, and I've heard they're not great anyway. Though for something like this, I would probably want one. I'm not spending the money on one. Okay. It's a Phillips 00 screwdriver tip. So, bit. I think they're called bits. I don't know. What, did you click on this video expecting to watch someone who knows what they're talking about? Nah, man. Nah, man. Yeah, that battery looks okay, I think. I am planning on modding the console this goes with, but I haven't done it yet. So when I turn this thing on to test it, and the console it's synced to is hooked up at the moment, it'll just be a vanilla Japanese Wii U. I haven't done that yet, so you know I'm not gonna film it, but I am planning on modding the console this goes with, just if anyone's curious. Are there any screws under the battery cover? I don't see any. Maybe there's like a hidden screw or something. That would not surprise me. But I also want to do this, one, in a way that I can film it, and two, without damaging it any further. This gamepad is in a rough shape, and I don't want to make it worse. This can't be the right way to do this. This can't be the right way to do this. It's been a long time since I've needed to do this for something, so I can't actually remember how I did it last time. I think it may have been like a small flathead screwdriver, but yep. Yeah, that got it off. Okay. And that went flying and is now on the floor. Wow, that glue is like ready to give up. It's probably not the right way to do this, but I don't plan to put them back on, so I know that's probably like heresy and I'm not doing it right, but again, did you click on this video expecting to see someone doing it right? Nah. Nah. And I know it looks pretty ugly without the screw covers, but they're a pain in the ass to put back on, so... And they're a pain in the ass to get back off if I end up needing to go back in it, so... Probably not going to throw these away, but they're probably not going to get used. Or at least I won't throw them away tonight, you know, but... Because I'm probably going to have to go back in this, and I won't film it if I do, but, you know. When I did this one, somehow a hair had gotten, like, between the D-pad and the button contact, so the D-pad wasn't working. And I was, like, really confused why the D-pad wasn't working right. Because it was, like, working, but it was just, like, very not as sensitive as it should be. And I ended up being like, okay, I'll just take it apart again, see if I did anything wrong. And I found a hair between the button pad, the button membrane and the plastic button. And that was one of my biggest, oh, how did I get that wrong moments, you know? Oh, I still have it out. I don't have to go get the bag of screwdrivers just because one screw post is too tall too deep for the iFixit kit. That's like the one thing I don't like about these iFixit screwdrivers. They're not long enough. So anything like even moderately deep, it just doesn't go in far enough, doesn't even touch the screw. It's kind of really frustrating. But like this cheapo Amazon screwdriver, which isn't even like, you know, like even the like non iFixit screwdriver kits, I'm sure they're better than this, you know. This was like a $2 or $3 screwdriver that was probably drop shipped that I got like 10 years ago. So, you know, so it is a little frustrating how I can't just replace all my screwdrivers with the iFixit kit just because of that one problem. And there's like a screwdriver extender that it comes with that is just useless because it's way too thick. So doesn't help whatsoever. Thanks, guys. So now I have to open this without breaking it. Is there a ribbon cable? Yep, there's a ribbon cable. Okay. I forgot there was a ribbon cable. How do I get that off without breaking it? Oh yeah, that's for the battery, yeah. It's actually not a ribbon cable, it's just 2 wires. But it's on one of those really annoying plugs that is just way too tight, like universally way too tight, never comes out. You're more likely to break the wires than get it out. That is threatening. That is incredibly threatening. I don't like those. I really don't like those. Maybe they're not as fragile as I think they are, but it always feels like I'm going to snap the wire off. Every time I encounter one, it sucks. Got it out. Okay, I got it out without breaking it. Nice, neither of the wires are broken. Good. Okay, good. I was so scared I was going to break that. Can't really see what I'm doing because it's covered up by my hand, but looks like I need the tri-wing bit for some pure unbridled malice. They use tri-wings inside. That's stupid. Pure unbridled malice. Almost dropped that screw on the floor. Good I didn't. So this is the one that's going in. And this is the one that's coming out. It actually doesn't come up on camera how bad it is. Wow. Yeah, it's bad. I think my phone's auto white balance or something is correcting it. Yeah, that's piss yellow, bordering on poo brown. And it's not as sticky as you would expect, but it's clearly starting to go sticky. And if you cleaned the dirt off, there would be a sticky surface underneath. I'm not sure if the yellowing is dirt or yellowing. I would imagine both. Oh, for a second I thought these sticks didn't fit. That was concerning. They do. That went in fine. Okay, good. Good. And seems to feel okay. I would assume the screws on the other joystick are probably also tri-wing. I'm just guessing. It would be really weird if they're not. I'm guessing that board there is the NFC. I'm guessing. Yeah, that's what the NFC is. Okay, that's where the NFC is. That's for like amiibo and shit. And Pokemon Rumble U figures. Something I have always wanted to collect, but they have always been stupid expensive, and I only have like one. Because they've always just been up there. Like, not worth it money, you know? Especially, like, not even like especially for the game that uses them, but like, that's part of it. But it's also like they're just really small figures. And they do look nice. But I'd rather buy like a $30 resold amiibo from 10 years ago than a Pokemon Rumble U figure for $30. Also, that screw is gone. That was a bad idea. That was a bad idea. I don't know where that screw went, and I'm worried it's somewhere in here and is going to cause a short. So, that's concerning. And I maybe shouldn't have tried to do that. Okay, and that's back in. Yeah, that feels okay. We'll find out when I plug it back in. Oh, here's the screw. Here's the screw. Okay. Glad I found it. Okay. This one's even worse, and I think the camera is correcting for it as well. Yeah. On a related note, this desk mat is a mess, and I really need to replace it. Maybe at 200 subs. I don't know if I would replace it with like a completely new one, or see if I can find the same PlayStation one. I don't know, I kind of like the PlayStation one, but I also bought it at Five Below, and they don't have it anymore because that was like 3 years ago. Part of the reason this is such a mess, the desk mat, I mean, is actually because I do a lot of projects that I don't film. So if you like go back through the older videos, you'll see like just the desk mat getting way worse at a way faster rate than it would seem based on the videos that I released. And that's because of me doing things that I didn't film. the big example that I can think of is like fixing a DS Lite and breaking 2 parts consoles even further than they already were just to get one working. Kind of glad I didn't film that one because it would have made working on an even bigger nightmare, having to work on it from behind a camera, and I probably would have been crashing out for quite a bit of it, so it's probably good I didn't film that one. Got that DS working though eventually. I don't feel like getting up to go get it and show it on camera, but I have both sticks in, so now I can start putting it back together and then testing it. I think that cable is for the home button and stuff, and the mystery port that doesn't actually do anything. They never actually did anything with it. I want to say it was meant for like the Wii U Zapper or something that just never released. But it might not have been. That thing might have also just been a piece of plastic. I really don't know. That port was never used for anything. I have done a couple things with this where I feel like I broke it, and that's very concerning because this is not mine and gamepads are expensive. But hopefully I didn't break it. So looking at this, I think I put everything back in. I think I plugged everything back in. Before I screw it together, I'm going to turn it on. Oh yeah, that looks pretty nice. Okay, it turns on. Thank God. Did the console turn on? The console did not turn on. That is concerning. I'm not sure if I had to resync it after taking the battery out on my main gamepad. Hoping that's the case, but I'm concerned that I broke it. And I'm going to have to pay for a new gamepad. Speakers seem to work though, which is good. Well, the Wi-Fi has to be working because I turned the console on manually and it immediately turned on. Looks like I didn't break that ribbon cable. That's good. It's a good sign. So, we can see what was on the previous owner's Wii U. Amazon Prime, YouTube, Hulu, Donkey Kong 64, never played it, and I don't know what this is. Oh, Advance Wars. Okay. Cool. Wow, that screen layout sucks. I think you can change it. Okay, so So in the menu, right on the D-pad doesn't work. But in the Wii U menu, it works fine. I'm not going to consider it concerning, because it is working at all. I'm guessing it's a weird thing with the Virtual Console. Okay. I think those joysticks look pretty nice, actually. So that's cool. So I'm going to take that battery out again, because maybe it, like, I hope I don't have to... I hope I didn't, like, somehow break just connecting to the Wii U and turning it on automatically. Maybe that's, like, a setting you can disable. I've never looked into it. I've never felt the need to turn that off if it is a setting you can turn off. But maybe the previous owner did. I don't even know if that's a setting on Wii U. I don't even know if that's a thing you can do, honestly, but... Also, I'm probably gonna not do the other gamepad tonight. This took an hour. This took an hour. So I'm gonna do the other gamepad. I'm not gonna say tomorrow, and it's not like it matters for the final video anyway, because all of this is gonna hopefully be one video. Maybe I'll split it into parts, but it's not gonna be uploaded the day I film it anyway, so it doesn't matter, but... I did take the battery out of this again, so I probably have to go turn the Wii U on manually. Hopefully I don't have to do that the second time. I was planning on region swapping this console, so if that is a setting, which I'm doubting, I'll probably not deal with it until the thing is on US firmware, and by then the settings will have been reset anyway. So, okay, turning it off. The Wii U did turn off. It's like across the room. It's like it's like the other side of the room. I'm not even going to try filming it. I heard the Wii U like drive spin up, so it definitely turned on. You can see I put my disc of Amiibo Festival in this thing when I was testing it. Apparently the previous owner was playing Mario Maker and one of the Lego games. I don't recognize that. Okay. But the Wii U did turn on. So that is like a good sign. I'm guessing it's because I took the battery out, is my guess. And the D-pad feels fine. This is probably something very rude, and I don't know what it says because I don't read Japanese. Nor do I speak Japanese. I'm assuming this thing didn't have an Amiibo Festival save on it already. I definitely put my Amiibo Festival disc in when I was testing it, when I received this console, and it was in significantly worse shape than what I had paid for. But console works, gamepad seems to work despite a very slight screen yellowing, and that's fine. So, you know, whatever. I didn't bother fighting with eBay over it. I did receive a working console, and it being in worse shape mostly meant the gamepad is a bit scuffed up. The sticks on the gamepad were effed, which I can fix myself. And I think like the listing picture had like an original Nintendo power supply and video cables. Like I think it was HDMI cable, and it shipped with generic HDMI cable. That's fine. I don't care. And a aftermarket power supply. And okay. I mean, at least the console functions. Like, I didn't get scammed. I'm not going to fight eBay over it, but I was a little bit annoyed, especially since this was, it was supposed to be a Christmas gift, but I didn't have the money until, like, January, and I still need to mod the console. I bought a Max, I think it was like a Samsung Endurance SD card, I think, so I can put Red NAND on it, or whatever it's called, EmuNAND, whatever it's called on Wii U, with the US rebuilt NAND. This thing doesn't seem to be showing signs of NAND failure, but she wanted it in English. I'm paranoid, so might as well. So as mentioned earlier in the video, I did not film replacing the joysticks on this gamepad. I was going to, and then I realized, well, it's the same as this gamepad, exact same process, and I just couldn't be bothered to film it. I wanted to use the gamepad, and filming it would have just delayed that. So I just did it without filming it. But I did get it done, and it feels a lot better now than it did with the Xbox sticks. Yes, I have a custom theme. Swag. It's over. That game doesn't actually use the joysticks. I just find it funny for some reason. How about Pushmo World? That game uses the sticks. Yeah. Feels a lot better now. These sticks are way higher quality than the like aftermarket Xbox sticks I had in here before. So I'm happy with it. And the like dark blue is like very subtle, but I think it looks nice. I also finished the Wii U side on this console. This is a gamepad, but you know what I mean. I still need to do the VWii side. I installed the homebrew channel, and I did the plugin for adjusting the scaling, but that was like all I did. Again, I just find that game funny for some reason. Oh, it supports analog too. Great. Peak of gaming, truly. Aria, if you're watching this, I really hope that by the time I get this console mailed to you, you forget that I installed Nick Cage Eats Stuff, and you just find it. So yeah, I think that's about it for this probably really long video. I think I've got like at least 2 hours of footage to go through. But yeah, hope it was at least kind of interesting.